I think people should watch the West Hollywood Pride Reading Festival because it's important not only to support local theater, small theater, playwrights, it's also important to support the LGBTQ community and those who are creating. Not all the playwrights are of the LGBTQ community, but I think it's important that any writer wants to tell the stories of the community. And I think it's important to tune in and listen to them and know that there is an audience out there that wants to hear what these voices are saying and share their thoughts and the fun times, the sad times, and maybe a little bit of education as well. So it's going to be a great mix of entertainment and education. I'm Thomas J. Misuraca, and if you want to learn more about the ALAP West Hollywood Gay Pride Reading Festival, please watch this video. So the ALAP West Hollywood Pride Festival is something that ALAP has been sponsoring for, I believe, 6 years, maybe a little bit more. And as a long-term member, I've actually submitted ever since the first year. As a matter of fact, I'm the only ALAP playwright to have both a 10-minute play and a full-length play accepted within the same year. It's great that the city of West Hollywood is actually allowing, ALAP to showcase the best LGBTQ plus plays from their members. And and I do miss when it was in person because it would be in Plummer Park and everyone, or the library, and everybody from West Hollywood, would come out and support. And online, it's great as well. We have a lot of I believe last year the mayor of West Hollywood introduced the festival. So I think it's important to show what theater is creating in the LGBTQ plus community. And it's great that the city of West Hollywood is paired with ALAP to give this a voice. So my play, Jiating, and I apologize if I'm pronouncing it wrong, it is the Chinese word for family. It sprang from actually two inspirations. In February, I did the 28 plays for 28 days challenge. And one of the challenges, because it was February, was to write about Chinese New Year's. I myself am partnered with a Chinese man, and there is that little sense of cultural differences, and especially when there's a big family get together, and especially when it's something like Chinese New Year's, the traditions and the family gatherings and the family expectations, and and how that all comes to. And for somebody being the odd man out, I really knew what, I really felt like the odd man out at times is as wonderful and accepting as any family is. I think when you're a little different from everything, you still feel like the fish out of water. So I felt like it's a story I wanted to tell because it came from a personal experience. And I also I felt it was more important. I opted to change the character that is based on me to a BIPOC character because I felt that is even a little bit more fish out of the water. And the idea of your family is not who your blood is, but your family is who you create. And if you're lucky, they end up being both. So the main story arc of the play, Jiating, is a young gay man brings his BIPOC lover boyfriend home for Chinese New Year's dinner. And the boyfriend has been around a while, but this is a bigger deal. This is the first time that he meets the entire extended family. So it's the boyfriend dealing with, his own small senses of insecurity and trying to find a place in his boyfriend's Chinese family. And it mostly takes place outside of the activity. We don't actually get to the big party, but it's how he deals with the mother, who of course is very nurturing and loving and brings too much food. The smart ass brother and how he deals with all. The brother's the one who pushed the buttons that the boyfriend is, of course, feeling and worried about. And it's just a little reminder that if you truly care for someone, you will do your best to be part of their family and to make someone feel like part of their family. I would like the audience to, first of all, have fun while they're watching my play. I believe it's a comedy. I think people will get a good laugh out of it. I would also like maybe people to have a sense of they've related to it. If it doesn't have to do with the relation on, being a different ethnicity in some other family's ethnicity, just that whole idea of being somewhere where you didn't feel like you were 100% belonging, but then feeling that those who are there are welcoming, and the whole idea that, it doesn't matter what creed, color, age we are. It's that, we're all in this together and we should do our best to make everybody feel welcome. The West Hollywood Pride Reading Festival is always an exciting event for ALAP. It's great to see what my fellow playwrights are working on, especially on the themes of the LGBTQ plus community. It's wonderful to see the actors. I myself have assembled a great team of actors. Ironically, I was just thinking this morning that this is the first time I've been working with actors in something that I've never actually met in person, thanks to our quarantine time. But I'm very excited to bring them together and see them perform the piece. I'm excited to see the other actors that my fellow playwrights have, brought to the table, because it's always a wonderful time, always some great performances. And even though it's a stage reading, in person, you always felt like you didn't know the script was there. And I'm sure even more so on Zoom, it won't feel any different than any other production. And it's always a good mix of humor, heart, and important messages, and just a reminder of what this community stands for. Organizations like ALAP are important because it brings together artists and encourages them to continue to create, to continue to submit material. We would love to educate more. I know we enjoy doing panels and workshops, and why it should be supported is it would be great if, finances weren't an issue, that we could have as many workshops as we wanted. We could have as many readings. We could, rent a theater to put on a evening of one acts, or, do more for the fringe. It would be, great if we had the support that we could allow our artists to create, to then bring in actors to put life into their stuff, and bring in directors to give it a vision that they may not have. So I think to support a group like ALAP is, supporting art, and that's important, and especially when we're doing something like the Gay Pride Plays with West Hollywood, to help voices that may not be heard to get out there and listen to. Of course, the ALAP program I enjoyed most is the cocktail parties. Unfortunately, they might have changed. Dan Berkowitz passed away a couple of years ago, and he used to open up his home, and anyone who had his Cosmos were probably still a little hungover from his Cosmos. So I miss that. Of course, not only for the drinks and the great cheese. John Dorf was great at finding wonderful cheeses at Trader Joe's and other places, but it was a wonderful time that sort of the masks were off. Nobody was really, we of course are always trying to promote something, but at that moment in time, we were all just meeting to talk about what was going on in our lives, what issues we were having, what wonderful stuff we were having. And it was great to meet as friends, and to, and to just, share a drink, share a story, and get to meet other people in the community. I'd say my second favorite event would be the West Hollywood Gay Pride Readings, because I think it's great that this comes from a grant from the city. So West Hollywood itself is giving us an opportunity to share our voices with the community. And it's always been a fun event. As I said, I'm so upset that it's not in person, but I know it's still going to be a blast at Zoom, because there was nothing better than going out and seeing everyone, chatting with everyone before the show, seeing the wonderful work that they're putting, getting to, I don't think I left there without the name of a bunch of new actors that I wanted to work with, a bunch of, always one or two new writers who work I might not have seen before. If I was in the piece, if I wasn't in the piece that year, it was always a great event, and also, networking is important. So I think of the events, I felt that the Gay Pride readings both did something that was important for the community, as well as continued the ALAP mission of bringing authors together. I'm Thomas J. Misuraca, and if you enjoyed this conversation and want to learn more about the ALAP West Hollywood Gay Pride Reading Festival, visit our website.